The night of November 1st arrives, and his words come back to Rosalia's mind. She sits beside the fire on the ground, with her sister at the side and their father sitting on a stool. Rosalia feels a different kind of joy seeing her father back home earlier than usual, to share the evening with them. The mother sits at the other side of the fire, and Tia Maria keeps the place of honor on a chair towering over them. The table nearby is ready for dinner with pasta, bread, and the sweets Imbenia gathered on her round of the streets, but not for them. They have already eaten, but the table will remain ready for the whole night, for the spirits of their ancestors and relatives who might want to eat in their old home. In the orange glow of the sparking fire, Tia Maria tells the stories of the times past, stories of her family and relatives, remembering and honoring those of the family who died. She also lingers in the tales of ghost stories, to Imbenia's request. The child claps her hands happily and then covers her face, hiding behind her father's leg, as Tia Maria tells about the time her mother told her she saw a figure in their kitchen during the Night of the Souls, eating from their table. Everyone stays silent, listening to their words in the light of the fire and the candles left lit on the windowsill. As a child, Rosalia used to ask her to tell the story of the Marchioness. Now, as every single noise makes her jump and the stories make her uncomfortable, she wouldn't even dare to say the name. Tia Maria's reminder to put away all the knives in the house brings back to her mind how dangerous ghosts can be. As Rosalia keeps her eyes trained on her grandmother, a knock at the door makes her start. She moves her eyes around, trying to hide her reaction to the rest of the family, who turn to her. "Rosa?" her father begins. "Will you open the door? You don't want to leave the kids out." Rosalia gets up without complaining and grabs a small casket of almond sweets from the table, her knees still trembling from the stupid and useless scare. She opens the door and finds a little child around 10 years old, wrapped in a white blanket from head to feet, with only his small feet and black spats peeking out. He looks up at her and puts out his Bertula, uttering the usual request formula. "Suwane sutoku." Rosalia looks at the boy for a little more, somehow puzzled by his disguise, but he keeps shaking the Bertula in front of her. She puts some sweets in it. "Elias says he's sorry for what he said," the boy says. Rosalia jumps again at those words, and the boy pulls up the white sheet from in front of his face. Joannedo looks up at her and she takes a deep, relieved sigh. She glances around. The street is dark and lit only by candles on the sills, and children begging at every door, sometimes accompanied by an adult. "Are you alone?" "Elias is not here, no." "And did he send you?" Joannedo shrugs. "He just asked me to tell you this." "What did he tell you?" Rosalia smiles a little. "We just had a little argument." Joannedo shakes his head. "He's just stupid. He's been sitting by the fire since then, looking like a beaten dog, and he's not brave enough to come and tell you himself." She chuckles a little and puts one more sweet into his Bertula. "You're wise for a kid." "So he regrets that, you said?" "He wanted to ask sorry. He sent me to do that. Rosa, just tell him you want to marry him and he will be fine." Rosalia jumps a little at his words and looks inside the house, hoping no one heard him. "I'm still thinking about it, and you're a kid. You can't understand." "But I see him all day long and he just can't bring himself to do anything. He's a pain to watch, and he doesn't want to do anything, not even play. He wanted to live again." "But he's here now?" she asks, eager to know the answer but hiding her curiosity behind a nonchalant tone. "He is, and I'm sure he would be happy to see you." Maybe you can come around with me and you two can talk. He hired you to do the ugly work, didn't he? I'm sorry, Joanne, but if your brother wishes to see me, he should come himself. Tell him that. He's been unkind, and he should come himself. Joannedu peeks inside the house. He's scared by your father. She chuckles a little. He should be scared by my mother. Tell him he can come any time. I'm not mad at him, but he has to admit he talked without thinking. He frowns and covers his face again. I will report. Rosalia looks outside in the street, to the other kids walking in groups, with sacks partially full and lanterns made out of turnips, and Joannedu was in front of her, as if waiting for something else. She thinks about whether there's more she wants to tell Elias. She would tell him many things, but none of them can be referred back by a 10-year-old. Rosalia just waves at the child. Be careful out there. Don't worry, ghosts don't hurt children. And I'm gathering sweets for the souls of the purgatory, he comments, stepping back and resuming his round. Rosalia smiles a little and looks ahead to the Ruggios' house, to the closed door and the candle at the window. She stares at it for a while, hoping to see Elias come out and reach her, tell her he didn't mean the things he said, and he would have done anything to have her forgiveness. But the door stays closed, and Elias doesn't come out. Rosalia sighs and looks away, when she notices a child in the middle of the street, in a long white dress, and just standing there, immobile, facing her. He's too far to be recognizable, and Rosalia is not even sure if it's a boy or a girl. Rosalia squints, finding his disguise unusual, as other children pass by and ignore him. Rosalia feels a shiver run down her back, but she can't take her eyes away for any reason. Rosa, are you waiting for children to come at you? Her father jokes from inside. Rosalia starts and glances inside. When she looks out again, the child in the middle of the street is not there anymore. Rosalia closes the door with a trembling hand and comes to the circle around the fire, her legs shaking more than when she got up. Why did it take that long with that kid? Her father asks. It was Joannedu Ruggiu, father. We were just talking, she explains, trying to keep her voice even. She sits back on her calves, but her mind keeps going back to the child with the peculiar costume. She doesn't remember seeing his sack for sweets.